Hello folks, welcome from a pretty, I would say, nervous Kharkiv tonight. News stories have been pretty bad all day. Nothing actually tangible happening, but pretty bad. So we go into a state of emergency here in literally about 21 minutes. Where we are, we're like 18 miles from the Russian border, where apparently there's 20,000 Russian troops waiting over there. So, yeah, a little bit nervous, but what can we do? I'm gonna go to the outdoor fitness park now. So over here, actually do a bit of a workout. I have to clear my head. And yeah, hope to get through the night.
Hello guys, and welcome again from one of the best cities in the world, by far in my opinion the best city in Ukraine, Kharkiv. Today we're going to go to my old district, show you where I lived for quite a few years, and also explain the pretty tense story about how I was caught up in the first days of the war and how I got out alongside my wife, how we got out together, and the ordeal we went through in the first 5 days of the war, being essentially trapped in a metro station. And yeah, gonna go see what the score is and take a walk down memory lane. I think my story is very typical of the millions of people trying to leave Ukraine from the east at the start of the war. And just to give you guys an idea of the actual reality of fleeing a war zone, we're gonna go there today. Let's go guys, metro's waiting.
Шановні пішоходи.
Good to be home, good to be back. Alexeyevka. So I must have walked this walk 1,000 times in my life, from the metro back to my old flat. Alexeyevka is a typical Kharkiv district. It's I think built in the 60s or 70s by the Soviets, and it's a typical layout. So guys, this flat just behind me is where I lived for 2.5 years in the district of Alexeyevka. And yeah, very, very cool district. It might not look so beautiful on the eye to start with, but it's actually a very cool place, so comfortable, metro station very close. You've got the supermarkets super close. It was all 24/7, so many shops, cafes nearby. This is where our journey started on the 24th of February, 5 in the morning. I went to the toilet just in the flat behind me, came back, and already very, very loud bangs. At about 5:30 we came running out here. People all over the place in this district, not knowing what to do. Nobody knew what to do. We didn't know what to do. So here, explosion still going. We're shitting ourselves. I'm not afraid to say it now. I think it's acceptable to shit yourself. Not literally, but I think it's acceptable to shit yourself in such a situation. We've got our bags. We don't know what to do. Should we go to the metro? Stay here? People are still outside, we're still outside. Okay, looking like we're going to be taken pretty soon as well, maybe in the next half an hour, couple of hours. Yeah, I don't know what to do, because going to the metro is also a risk. I don't know. Scary. We were asking people, some people chilled out calm, other people panicking, what do we do? And in the end we decided to run to the metro station. So we're evacuating now to the metro. Had a message on our phones. We should get on the ground as a precaution. Walking with the stuff now. towards the entrance. Loads of people outside. I think the worst might be in the next couple of hours, so we're going to get to somewhere which should definitely be safe. So yeah, see how it goes. Still pretty calm here. Before coming back here, packing our stuff, and that was basically the same for me over the first 5 days. Running back now and again, back to the metro, back. It's a 2-minute walk, 1-minute run, and the first 5 days were just non-stop rumbling in the sky, artillery here. Very bad bombing now, very bad shelling over this direction behind me. Don't know where it is, but it's loud. But yeah, the concerns again. Yeah, the concerns. Fuck. Yeah, it's fucking loud. This is same with the first night when it started. That was this sound. That's a major strike. Still going. I get inside because this is fucking scary enough. Anyway, we're pretty safe. Again, got some food. Oh, that's crazy. And the district seems much more peaceful now, thankfully. So we made it through the night. It's now about 6 in the morning. Over 24 hours since the airstrike, which basically signaled the start of this. So yeah, airstrikes, a lot of airstrikes, a lot of shelling, about 10, 11, 12 it seemed to me last night. But now it's got pretty quiet. And this sign behind me was the only way I could find my way home. Some nights when I was drunk, all of these buildings looked the same. I just used to see this sign behind me and know it was my place. Kurсы водителей. Driving courses. Somebody who was teaching driving from our block of flats. This here was the path we took quite a lot to get to the metro station when I was running back and forth now and again. Never ran this as fast in my life, this path. Pretty crazy, we saw this park where we are now. It was under Russian control this morning. Then they fought it back. The Ukrainian armies all over the main street. And they've given it an hour to get some plugs. And this here was our bomb shelter. We didn't quite fancy going in here, so we took the metro station instead, because this looks super scary. And yeah, it's still a working bomb shelter. And the bomb shelter is of course still active. People still go in there. The district still does get hit very rarely now. Well, the city still does get hit, like on the weekend. We had 6 rocket attacks over the weekend. One could easily fall in a district like this, so yeah, they're still used, unfortunately. Must have been super scary in one of these little smelly bomb shelters at the bottom of the 9-story buildings, knowing that could collapse and boom, you're stuck under there. I'd rather take my chances in the bedroom, to be honest, and just go with a bang than be stuck with a 9-story building on top of me. I remember the first few days of the war, there were huge block posts on this avenue with the police putting guns up at everybody coming through, or the army. mall's closed, even though it never opened, to be honest. Supermarket here seems to be also closed. The fighting came very close to here, luckily didn't quite come into the city, but even these districts here got hit. And Russia's not far at all from here now. The official land border with Russia is not far. All these districts are pretty badly mined, unfortunately, now. In these northern suburbs of Kharkiv, mines are the biggest danger now, much more dangerous than the random air attacks. There's a real risk you can step on a mine if you go off the path. And it happened to somebody I know actually, stood on a mine. Luckily they're okay, but in hospital. And it happens quite often, so I need to be very, very careful with mines. Going to my old barbers now. Ah, they should. What a shame. Used to go to them every 2 weeks. Fantastic skin fade. But yeah, they're shut down because of obviously the war. Seems something fell here a while back. Windows boarded up. So I remember I spent a lot of very nervous time next to this metro we can see behind me, and the supermarket is just down here. And I remember often running to the sound of artillery down here to the shop to get some stuff in, then running back. A couple of beers maybe also, of course, in that situation. So we're outside the metro station now. We're kind of fluttering between the metro station and occasionally running back home. Into the shop, got a shop, pretty well stocked still. Milk is a bit short, bread, there was no bread. It's quite ironic, so lots of expensive European cheeses and wines, and simple like bread is pretty hard to find. You can't find for love nor money. So the queues aren't as bad now in the shop. It's maybe a good time to get our hands on some stuff. Certain things there's a lot of, and then other things there's nothing, so no eggs. Bit of mayonnaise. Got our mayonnaise, guys. Like I said, lots of cheese, lots of European cheese, but then not much of the cheaper cheese. We're going to grab some more cheese just in case. 110 hryvnia, it's not cheap, but at least there's stuff. Loads of fish actually, alive fish, so yeah, it's not got to the stage where people are pulling fish out of the tank. Actually, yeah, now it's not as bad. It was crazy earlier in this shop. The queues were literally to the back of the shop, too much. So yeah, there's no bread at all. There's no like cookies and stuff. Milk. There's no milk, although vegans will be happy because there's lots of vegan milk still, but no real milk. Limited stock, but at least we got something, so we're going to get our hands on it now. People all came out at the same time, thinking it was going to be peaceful. Unfortunately, the shelling started again, so there's less people. So guys, got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that, well, the bad news is that my favourite place before, Food City, is now closed. It has gone. I know I'm gutted, but no, not all is lost, because the good news is it's been replaced by a new place called the 50th Parallel, because Kharkiv is located on the 50th Parallel. The beer seems to be even cheaper than it was before, which is always a bonus, of course, so cheers to that. One thing about Ukraine is they're always experimenting with their food, so they're always like doing some weird new stuff. And I ordered a cold soup called akroshka. It came like a salad, and then she gave me some water next to it. And then we need to mix the water into the salad to make a soup. So something like this. So yeah, a bit of a weird combination actually, but let's see how it is. I suppose just like normal okroshka, but it's a very weird way to get to that, from that, like get a salad and mix it with water. I don't know. Matthew's still working. Used to come here quite a lot. Italian and Japanese restaurant, 2 in 1. So kind of mixed feelings back in Alexievka, but a bit sad to see places closed, but also very happy to see many places still open, and very, very happy after being to Severna Salzavka a couple of days ago, seeing how this district is still very much intact. And it could have so easily have been us in the same situation as Severna Salzavka, should they have chose to have gone right upon entering the city on the first couple of days of the war. So school's been half destroyed. Now there's literally nothing left here to bomb, as we can see. Now it's just a ghost town, literally as if some apocalypse has just happened. Yeah, still very vivid memories waiting out here next to the metro station. Things getting too noisy outside, too dangerous, running back in again. These windows behind me are taped up in case of any explosion, so they won't shatter. And on the 3rd day of the war, we got locked into this metro station. We were stuck in here. 1.5 days non-stop, totally sealed. We've been barricaded into the metro. And people are trying to leave now because it's peaceful outside apparently, and people are going to the shop, and we've got the curfew at 6, and if it isn't open by in the next hour, then we won't have a chance to go to the shop and buy anything. But at the same time, this morning was super scary. Above there were literally tanks above. The metro is sealed off, as you can see, fully sealed off. But yeah, a lot of people, maybe they don't have as much food, maybe they just came in for like 5 minutes this morning to shelter, and they've been locked in here all day and they want to get out. So a bit of a argument going on now. One guy's saying he's going to open the door himself, but I don't know how you open it. I wouldn't like to try to open it myself. So behind me, if you can kind of see behind, but it's quite hard to see on this camera, but so yeah, the army's coming to our metro station to give us, and I'm going to post this after, so I'm not going to post this now, that would be stupid. So when you hear this, this will be a time when it's safe to post, because we shouldn't be posting this kind of stuff. So quickly ran out to the shop. It's scary today, being outside, because just
A few hours ago we were basically under Russian control. The Ukrainians fought back and now they're in charge of the metro station where we are. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest.
Staff were unbelievable here, so helpful. And this place was absolutely packed, the metro. This place was just chaos, but still Ukrainians are very cool, calm, collected.
So I'll show you guys what it's like up on top. There's people outside, it's a good sign. There's a lot of quite heavy bombing. About half an hour ago, I've not heard a bomb for like 20 minutes, so I figured it's a good time to pop my head up. Oh, surprisingly peaceful, I'd say. It's not a nice feeling coming up from a bunker after bombing above head. Bit of rumbling in the sky.
And then luckily we got out on the 5th day after sleeping 4 nights in the metro, and we jumped into a taxi to the station, which was chaos, hectic, and then managed to get out that way.
And yeah, this was somebody's bed for quite a long time, these trains. People slept on these trains, lived on these trains. Hard to even believe now.